So this is Rebecca Burton doing physical theatre blog for, let me just get the questions up. This week was on Berkoff and contemporary theatre, I think. The first question is, describe the games and exercises used to warm up and why they were used. Well, today we did a warm-up sort of after the performance at the beginning of the lesson. We went into the main lesson, which Ross did a workshop with us, and there were some exercises in that. And one of the main ones for that was we had to all walk around the space. We got moved into Studio 2, and we all had to move around the space, being as aware as we possibly could. And we had to fixate on a point in the room, and that was our place. So we had to walk around, and then when Ross said, we had to run to that place or walk to that place. But then as the sort of game exercise developed, at some points he'd say high five someone next to you, or at one point he said hug someone next to you, or get into a pair with someone next to you. And so this really sort of broke the boundaries. So it was more an icebreaker. It was like an exercise to, obviously because we were moving around, it got us a bit warmer, a bit more energetic, and a bit more sort of ready to work. But then it was also a really good team building exercise because you knew we were going to be doing a lot of devising group work today. So we did a lot of stuff with that, and so it was really good to get us all used to each other's company again, kind of thing, and to get rid of our inhibitions. So if he says go and hug the random person, even if it was a classmate you weren't necessarily that close with or anything, you just went and hugged them, because there's no inhibitions in theatre, especially physical theatre, because you have to go out, think outside the box a lot more with your physicality and things. So that means maybe working with others in a more intimate way, not intimate, but you know what I mean. And then as the lesson developed, we did an exercise. We did a couple of exercises actually, where we got put into smaller groups, and we had to make a forest and then a train, using as many space and levels and using just people. So for the train, I think I came up with the idea to have someone, I think it was Declan, I had on top of my shoulders, because with everybody else in the group creating their sort of spindly tree shapes, they were all sort of a similar level. So I thought Declan is a small, he's very good, but he's quite small and light. So I thought that it would be really good to have him on my shoulders, so then it would create something a bit taller that was just sort of, and then obviously because I could then have some branches as well, it would create more levels and interest to the sort of scene. So that was really good. And then for the train, we did it different. I think it was really nice to see other people's interpretation, because everybody came up with something different for a train. I think one group did literally just straight people standing sort of like dominoes, stood directly in front of one another in sort of like a queue, and they literally just did really small movements. I think they all moved their arm in a circular motion, and that was it. So that showed how simply you could represent a train. You knew it was a train, but it was just really simple the way it was done, which was effective. And so that was good. For our group, did it so that there was a window in the train, which was really cool. I think Chloe was sat in the train, and two of us created a window so you could see someone travelling within the train. So it was a bit more detailed, whereas the other group's train used a continual. When we got asked to put them all together, it was really good, because the other group, there was 3 groups, used a sound effect continually to use the transition from the forest to the train, because it went from a sort of ooh sound for the forest, because it was quite creepy, it was like ooh, to a choo choo, like a woo, and that so it showed that clean, smooth transition, and it was really effective, and I loved that bit actually. So I think that exercise was really effective to get us warmed up and thinking about total theatre, thinking about Berkoff style, because you had to think about using just your actors, just the actor is all you need to create that scene. And so that was really effective.